What is up, 7th grade? This is lesson 85, and our objective for today is order of operations with positive and negative numbers. So before we jump into some examples, let's just remember a bunch of things. First off, for order of operations, the first thing we need to do is parentheses or different grouping symbols, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later as we see some of those. Exponents and square roots, multiplication and division, from left to right, and then addition subtraction from left to right. And the easy way to remember that is PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. It's a nice acronym for you, that. To add integers, if they have the same sign, you just add and keep the same sign. So 2 plus 2 is 4. Negative 2 plus negative 2 is negative 4. If they have different signs, you subtract them and keep the sign of quote-unquote the bigger one, or the one that's further from 0. So technically 5 is bigger than negative 7. But if you were to say 5 plus a negative 7, then you'd keep the sign of the negative 7 because it's the one further from 0. And to subtract, you add the opposite. So if you had 3 minus 2, it'd be the same thing as saying 3 plus the opposite of 2, which is negative 2. And then you'd refer back to this rule, since they have different signs. I'd subtract 3 minus 2 and keep the sign of the 3. So this would just come out to be 1. And then also remember, if you are multiplying, if they have the same sign, the answer always comes out to be positive. If they have different signs, it comes out to be negative. Alright, so let's do a few of these. Example 1 just says to simplify. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with grouping. This is going to be a grouping. That symbol right there is a grouping symbol. So we do everything on top and everything on the bottom first. So we don't have any other grouping symbols. We don't have any exponents, so I'm going to use multiplication and division. So let's go, this is just number. So this is multiplication, so negative 2 times negative 2. Those are the same sign, so it's going to come out to be a positive 4. So it's going to be a negative 2 plus a positive 4. And then minus 2 divided by 2 would just be 1. Different signs, so it's going to come out to be a negative 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and change this. So I'm going to have a negative 2 plus 4. Since I'm subtracting, I'm going to add the opposite. So I'm going to add the opposite of negative 1 is 1. So I'm going to go ahead and add those two together. So it's going to be negative 2 plus 5. And then those have different signs, so I'm going to subtract. So 5 minus 2 is 3, and keep the sign of the bigger one, which is the 5. So my answer here would be 3. Another one, simplify each term, then combine like terms. Alright, so here's this term, here's a term, and here's a term. So first off, I'm going to use the inside the parentheses, so 2 minus 4. It's the same thing as saying negative 3 times 2 plus a negative 4. Different signs, so I subtract. It's going to be a negative 3 times negative 2. Then subtract. I'm going to multiply those two numbers together, so it's going to be 4 times, subtract 4 times 6, same sign, so they come out to be positive. Plus, this is a grouping symbol, so I'm going to do everything on top first. So on top is going to be a 12, because 3 times 4 is 12, and they have the same sign. On the bottom is a 2. Moving down a little bit further, this 4 times 6 is 24. And then 12 divided by 2 is 6. Over here, negative 3 times negative 2 is a positive 6. Minus 24 plus 6. So I'm going to go ahead and combine these two together. 6 plus 6 is 12. So I'm going to have 12 minus 24, which is going to give me a negative 12. Alright, another one here. So notice we have these parentheses here, so I need to do everything in here before I mess with the stuff on the outside. So inside, I have a number minus a product, so I need to do this product first. So this is going to be -3 minus 4 times 5 is 20. They're the same sign, so it comes out to be a positive 20. And then minus, this is -2 minus that. So still working inside these parentheses. -2 minus. These are the, so it's going to be, I'm going to write it like this, -3 plus the -20, right? Adding the opposite. Those have the same sign, so it's going to be -2 minus -23, same sign, so add, keep. Coming up here, so I have more room. This is going to be -2. I'm going to add the opposite of -23, so it's going to be plus 23. Different signs, so I'm going to subtract 23 minus 2 is going to be 21. Keep the sign of the bigger one, so the answer is just going to be 21. And let's do another example here. So let's again kind of simplify each term. So this is going to be the -2. 3 times -2 is going to be a -6 because those have different signs. And then subtract 2 times 4 is 8. So change this all to addition. This is going to be a -2 plus the -6 plus the opposite of 8 is going to be -8. So notice these three are all through the same term, so let's just add them. 2 and 6 is going to be 8, plus 8 more is going to be 16, and they're all negative, so I'm going to keep that sign. Your homework starts on page 589. You can do the practice sets, the 85s, 84s, and 5 more of your choice. I know you guys are going to do awesome. Good luck, guys.